Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. Now, the Miami Heat are a fringe playoff team right now, but where there's mediocrity, there's always positivity somewhere in that mediocrity, and it's no different with Hassan Whiteside with the Heat. Hassan, I gotta say, if there's one player that surprised me more so than anybody in the league, it's definitely been Hassan Whiteside. I remember him very well with the Sacramento Kings. When he got drafted and he was behind DeMarcus Cousins and didn't get a whole lot of minutes. And when he did, he was not very good. He was a scrub. He was a scrub, or what I like to call a good, savvy veteran. That's the soft term I use for saying somebody sucks. But he was not very good when he played in Sacramento. So when I saw him, I live in South Florida, so I kind of watch the Heat when the Hornets aren't playing. So I watch a lot of Heat games, and when I saw him come off the bench, I think it was the first game I saw him play was in December against the Wizards, against the Washington Wizards. He came off the bench and I was like, I turned to my friend Hamid, and I was like, "Yo, you guys got Hassan Whiteside? This guy is trash." And then he proceeded to drop like 10 points and 11 rebounds and had like 4 blocks. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, "Yo, this is not the guy I saw in Sacramento." But in my mind, I was thinking, "Yo, okay, it was a fluke. It was this, it was that." And then it hasn't stopped. Hassan's out there straight hooping on fools. He's out there, getting his numbers. He only plays about he's only been averaging 16 minutes, but in those 16 minutes, he's averaging 7.2 points, 6 rebounds. Pace adjusted per 36 minutes, that's around like 10 points and like 15 rebounds or something of that nature. I don't know. It's a lot. I know his per 36 numbers are like crazy. But he's really added something that they could have used last year had they found him earlier. Being 7 feet, 265 pounds, can block shots, can catch a lob, can finish in the paint. Had he been on any one of those Heat teams that lost in the finals, LeBron would probably still be here if he was playing the way he is now on those teams. So, it's kind of crazy to think about how timing is everything. But, he's really provided a presence in the middle for a Heat team that desperately needed it. He's just what the doctor ordered. The Heat have they're still trying to find themselves. A lot of veterans have had to work themselves into shape, game shape. Luol Deng, Granger, Wade, and they had to play small lineups. Sometimes they put Mario Chalmers as a shooting guard. They did that early in the year when Wade was when he was injured or when he would sit out. So they've had to do that, and hold on, I'm coughing. I don't know why I'm coughing, but they've had to do that, and Hassan stepped up and he's done his part, and it's a lot of Chris Bosh player that perimeter game that he likes, even though he should be in the post more, and he said he would, but that's another story. So he's definitely been a huge key for the Miami Heat this year. Adding a lot of things to the table that they needed and nobody really ever saw coming. So whether he's going to keep this up or not, that remains to be seen. But he's definitely earning more and more and more and more minutes as the year goes on, and he's definitely the best thing that's happened to the Heat this year. He's the best story to come out of Miami this year. Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers ain't doing nothing. Wade's still on the maintenance plan type deal. What else? Luol Deng's alright. McRoberts is injured, so the Heat got off to a hot start early in the year, but they kind of cooled off, and they're still trying to find themselves. And I think in trying to find themselves, Whiteside has been a huge positive for them. So that's my take on Hassan Whiteside. Let me know what you think about Hassan Whiteside, who's been out here straight killing it for the Miami Heat. What's your take on him? Do you think he'll keep it up? Leave your comments down below, and I'll be sure to check those out.